Welcome back, all you Fabricans and Fleshbags, to the super, not funny show, Supercast. The Supercast, where we talk about all things superhero in the pop culture space. That's TV, movies, video games. We talk about news and speculation, all that good stuff. I am Mo de Poupe, your resident fabricant and comment extraordinaire on all things pop culture, joined by the anime expert, video game designer, and lover of all things superhero, my good friend Ladi. Lottie, what is going on, man?
Man, I'm great. Just had a great weekend. Finished it off with the lovely Peacemaker, Vox Machina, and of course, Horizon Forbidden West came out. So I'm feeling great.
You guys, feeling we're feeling great, and hopped up on superheroes, right?
Yep.
And today we decided as our main topic we're gonna dive into, shall we say, shark infested waters. We're gonna talk about should DC restore the Snyderverse, and that's a my God, that's a hashtag that won't die. It's worse than a zombie because you can chop it up as much as you want. It just keeps reforming. So we are going to talk about the Snyderverse and all that good stuff, and how it relates to the current DC universe and the DCU going forward. But before that, as always, we talk about the news item for the week, things that caught our eye that were happening in superheroes within TV and movies and etc. Like, for instance, James Gunn is having the time of his life. He is absolutely winning right now. We're going to talk about all the ways in which he is winning at life. There's a new trailer for the boys spinoff Diabolical, and it's pretty it's pretty crazy. So we're gonna take a look at that and offer our comments. Patrick Stewart, straight lying out. He out there straight lying about Multiverse of Madness, and we got a couple rumors about who may be showing up in Doctor Strange too. But hint, snicked, and also who also could be showing up in the Flash. Another hint, fish fucker. So so that all that good stuff is coming up. So Lottie, let's dive into this news.
hmm
You know what? Let's do rumors first, just because we don't have a ton to go on, except people have been talking. So, uh, the Flash is going to be the DCU's version of the Multiverse of Madness, or it's, I guess you call it Flashpoint or whatever. We're going to be seeing multiple versions of characters and all that. And so it has been leaked or something by the Illuminati that Jason Momoa and Gal Gadot are uh, are set to appear in the Flash. I'm going to assume in cameo roles, not in any major capacity, but somehow being a cameo. Because apparently, No Way Home has let everyone know that we got to jam as many people into this bitch as we can to
Yep.
get butts in the seat. You know what, DC? You aren't wrong. You guys aren't wrong. Um, and I guess it only makes sense if there's going to be the Flash, then we're going to get some Justice League people up in there. I'm a fan of both of these people, and of course the characters that they portray, Wonder Woman and Aquaman, respectively. And I don't see why it would be bad to see them in a Flash movie. What do you think, Lottie?
Oh yeah, I'm down with this. I'm down with this because we already know that we're getting Michael Keaton in the movie, and I hope that they have it where his bat suit is so stiff he can't turn his neck still. And I hope they make
It's
a
not my
joke about that.
it's like I got arthritis in my bat suit.
I hope they do that where like the Flash is standing on the side of him and he's like, look at me. And like he has to turn, he's like, why don't you just turn your neck? I can't. It's like
Like
make a joke of it.
it's like
But
wait, stand a little more to the side. Oh, not, I can see. Oh, I can see in my periph. I got you.
yeah. Well, like, yeah, I'm down with this. Like you said, I love Jason Momoa with the as Aquaman, and of course Gal Gadot to deal with to be Wonder Woman, and I want to see what they're going to do, putting them in. Like, I just whenever I think of like adding cameos, I always want cameos to be funny. Like, he's like Flash is running and he accidentally like ends up in like one of their rooms or something, and they're doing something embarrassing. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
like, you know how we know that, what's it called? He said, "You fuck fish."
Right.
Like
Hey,
something like that. He said, "I
right.
told you it's not a rumor or something." But yeah, I'm excited for the Flash movie. I want to see, like you said, to see, because it's like you said. Now that Marvel's doing their multiverses, I mean, DC can't just stand idly by. It's time for them to start doing this, and Flash is the best way of doing it. Maybe, who knows? Jace Momoa might not be Aquaman in the movie. He might be Doctor Fate. Who knows? You know what I mean?
I
It's
mean,
it is it is a multiverse movie.
yeah. Well, that is the one thing. It's like maybe we're not going to get the exact same Aquaman that we're used to, or Wonder Woman, but some kind of version of them. I honestly, I would. I imagine this is probably true because I mean, unless it's like they're really involved in the plot, it's probably just a real quick cameo. They show up and they do something, and that's that. So I can't imagine that this isn't true. Another rumor that's going on is we know, again, multiverse related. Multiverse of Madness is clearly going to have a ton of people in it. We've heard that they're doing
Hmm.
reshoots to include more people, more
Yeah.
cameos. It's going to be like the high school reunion where you're just like, hey, you know you used to be the cool guy in town. Now you're a little over the hill. That's pretty much that's the question we're having, like if they're going to have Wolverine back, which is the rumor here. But it's not apparently not going to be Hugh Jackman. The question of who it will be is for fan speculation. But Hugh Jackman, notoriously was just like, you know what, Logan's it for me. I'm good. And I, surprisingly, Disney bucks, probably can't get him to get back in shape to do this. I know, crazy, right? They,
Man, listen, I don't believe them. I don't believe them. I don't believe anything Marvel says after how they tried so hard to say, no, Tobey Maguire is not in Far From Home. I mean, oh, No Way Home. Yes, he is. I don't believe them. I'm not saying I don't. I'm not saying that Hugh Jackman is going to be in the movie. But at this point, anytime Marvel's like, oh, this one person will not be in the movie, I have to see it to believe it before they tell, because I don't believe them no more.
well, the rumor here, of course, is like I said, this Wolverine, but not Hugh Jackman. So we could be getting an alternate universe, or a soft, a kind of a soft introduction for the future Marvel Wolverine, the
Yeah,
MCU Wolverine, and because we're already thinking that Multiverse of Madness is going to be a soft, a soft introduction of of mutants to the MCU anyway. That
yeah,
somehow, I mean, I think my uh, conjecture is that Wanda's gonna make it happen. Give me
yeah.
mutant, give me
It's
all the
gonna be a
mutants.
mini. It's gonna be a mini House of M type
Yeah,
shit.
it's or reverse House of M. So if that's the
Yeah,
case, then we could be seeing the new Wolverine. But who that could be, that's anybody's guess. Because right now they're playing very tight-lipped about their new characters, and despite the fact that they've had control of the Fox characters for quite a while, haven't really heard anything from Feige or anybody about what they're going to be doing with the mutants. So it would be a real. I think it would be a real uh, accomplishment for them to throw mutants at us without us actually knowing anything about who is doing what. So
yeah,
that's why I don't know that I believe this right now. Just I mean, there's all the rumors and leaks and whatever that are going on. this is just it's just a person that's not Hugh Jackman. I'm like, we literally saw pictures of Toby and Andrew, months in advance of the movie. So, this might not be all that real. But we'll see. We'll let you guys know when we find out. Speaking of, you were talking about Marvel lying. So it looks like we're in that cycle again of people lying about being in a Marvel movie. And to his credit, I'm going to say this. This is about Patrick Stewart. So we know we heard his voice in that trailer, right? We didn't see him, but we may have seen the side of his bald head.
My God.
We may have seen, the light glinting off that cue ball. but we didn't see him. And so someone just straight up, like they do, just ask the man straight up, like, are you in this thing? And he was like, oh, it's really, it's crazy people talking about this, but I'm going to this football game. What the heck? I'm going to the game right now. How could I be in the Marvel trailer? I don't know, because you literally filmed this shit months ago, because that's the way filming works. I'm like, he's starting to do that thing. He's doing that Andrew Garfield thing, man.
What threats did that evil mouse give these people for them to make up some of the most BS lies? I mean, they'll straight up, like, that Andrew Garfield thing, that was a meme during the summer, or early fall, that they caught you at AK. Who would have known that was literally a scene in the movie? And he's like, yeah, I'm not in the movie.
I'm like,
what is that mouse going like? If you tell anybody, I swear to God.
If you tell anybody, I'll kill your whole family.
I'll kill your whole family, you motherfucker.
Don't play with me, Andrew.
What is it? Because it's just funny that they're just like, we literally heard your voice. Oh, it wasn't me. That was my voice actor doppelganger.
Yeah.
Or that was my voice stunt double.
He's like, there's many people that's been trying to sound like me over the years, and it's like, it could be one of them. It's clearly not me. I'm like, man, dude. Kevin Feige literally just was talking about how he called you up and shit. You know what? But you know what though? I'm just gonna give the man a pass. You know what? He has fewer. Andrew had to lie for a whole year, an entire year. Patrick Stewart, he only has to keep it together for about another month and a half. Another couple months. He just got to keep it together, and just not say anything. So.
Remembering how Andrew just he just could not. I'm like,
you know what? I'll give him this credit. These British actors, they toe that line hard. They will just. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm like, this is a picture of you. This is literally a picture of you sitting and eating sandwiches in a Spider-Man suit that has a timestamp on it. He's like, I don't know what you're talking about. That's clear. That's Photoshop. Clearly, okay. All right, cool. You're right. It's photoshopped. And then the day it comes out, yeah, I'm in Spider-Man. We know that. We know you're in this.
We know it.
We got it. Okay, so Patrick Stewart, we salute you, sir. You only got 2 more months of having to lie. Just lie straight up about it.
How many more football games he has to go to? He can make it.
I could not possibly be in this movie. I was out getting ramen soup. That's what the kids call it these days. Yes.
It reminds me of that Dave Chappelle skit when they were trying to do a shopping cart. He was like, "What are you looking at?" Chicken and chitlins are over there.
Oh man. So he's clearly lying, but you know what? We'll get back with you if we get more information about that. It's crazy. Moving on, the Diabolical trailer. So everyone loves The Boys, at least everyone of discerning taste and refined taste in TV stuff. Everyone loves The Boys, and we found out that there was going to be a spinoff about college age soups. But then they announced this animated Diabolical series, and we got that little teaser where with the little baby lasering faces off, which was a fun little thing. We were just like, what is this? What the hell is this about? And so last week we actually got a whole 2-minute trailer for Diabolical, which it turns out is an anthology series, an eight-part anthology series, wherein it's, and I almost call it, and this is a throwback. So if you're a certain age, you'll understand. If you're not, you won't. It's a throwback to MTV's Liquid Television, and in the sense of it's a bunch of different art styles, a bunch of different stories. Also there's a bunch of different people given the opportunity to write, direct and have animated their stories within the framework of the boys. And so, of course, that means blood, guts, a lot of cussing, and sexual stuff, and just generally superheroes not being good people. And so this came out. We got a good look at it. Ladi, my man, what'd you think about this trailer?
Man, first of all, I loved it. I'm excited for this. It's gonna be 8 stories, and I'm guessing there's gonna be 8 different artists. Maybe not, but maybe 8 different art styles. But it's just so cool what they're doing. Obviously, there's one that looks like a DC art style. There's clearly I see the Invincible art style that look, but this is exciting. There's a part, I guess, one of the stories is like a really young Homelander. Like maybe before he became really fucked up in the head. And then we have different stories of, because I see there's a multiple of these stories that have them taking what was that thing called again? Um
Are you talking about
that
the chemical or whatever?
Yeah, the chemical that changes them into that. I
Hmm.
see there multiple episodes. Maybe every episode shows that. Then of course we have the baby who is, by the way, I love that artwork. The freaking artwork of the Lion King, him
Yeah,
holding up the baby like it's Simba, and it's just, I like it. I love this. Can't wait to see it. And I hope there's some other like backstories of some other characters, in
yeah,
this.
yeah. I think it's just a sandbox essentially for various creators, writers to get involved. So we got Rick and Morty. There's Justin Roiland's in there, so there's gonna be a little Rick and Morty look to it. You have, of course, Seth Rogen, and I forget Goldberg, his writing partner. They're the ones that actually produced the boys. Got it made for TV, and so they're contributing. And Andy Samberg, Aisha Tyler. There's Alana Glazer. There's a bunch of people who are writing, and then they've got all this voice talent. It
Hmm.
looks crazy. It looks ridiculous and crazy, and all the different art styles. I love it. I love the idea of just you get a different story, and then like the art style changes to kind of fit it. And so there's
Yep.
some that's a lot more cartoony, like the baby one looks kind of a little like Animaniacs, a little like Tiny Toons. Then you get, like I said, the Rick and Morty look. Then there's an anime looking animation, and it all looks really, it. I mean, it's animation, and it's for Amazon Prime, so it's not gonna be extremely expensive. But like you said with Invincible, you have a look that's dynamic, but still. I'm even looking at one. It looks sort of like it was animated by the people that made the Boondocks. So
Yeah.
imagine that. It's. I think there's a lot of room in this show for experimentation, and well, looks like it's going to be hilarious and super violent. And so
Yeah.
basically, if you like the boys, you're gonna probably like this. And glory to the gods of superhero of superheroes, because we are getting this next week on March the 4th. So right
Can,
after
can I just say, can I just say, Amazon Prime is killing it right now. They're killing it. Like I forgive me, Amazon Prime, for questioning you about not having Invincible anytime soon. You guys have, I mean, you guys are Amazon Prime is killing it. They really are right now.
And if you think about it, we're getting this and then the boys later on this year.
Yep.
So yeah, we are we're in the middle of a good long stretch of just getting a bunch of cool stuff like this for the rest of this year really. So next week it's going to drop. We are going to of course check it out. We'll review it, all that good stuff. So come back for that. And finally, it's time to talk about the James Gunn era. Can we call it that? We call it
Yep.
it's the James Gunn is winning at life right now. He's got the number one streaming, like the number one streams, show, streaming service show in Peacemaker. It did gangbusters. Its its final its final episode, the viewership was up 44% over the first episode. Um, it's clearly it's so good that before the season finale was up, they greenlit it for a second season. And he was also saying, "Hey, we're developing another spin-off show." Right? He's in the middle of filming Guardians of the Galaxy 3, which everyone expects to be kick ass. And he just keep and not only that, he had so much juice that he was able to pull off that crazy Justice League cameo in Peacemaker, to the point where he actually had Jason Momoa and Ezra Miller you know actually in the show saying words on his little Peacemaker show. He managed to get two they are the stars of their own movies, big budget blockbuster movies, to come in and say a few things that were that paid off jokes that were in Peacemaker before. And the man just can't stop winning. And not only that, then just over the weekend, just to add, the put the cherry on top of just an awesome year that he's having. He also got engaged to Jennifer Holland, who is Harcourt in the Peacemaker show. After they've been dating for like 6 years, all of that's going on. Lottie, can this man win anymore? What else? I mean, at this point, is there anything else he needs to do to just like completely win 2022?
Oh, again, I do want to sing the song. All I do is win, 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 no matter what. And this man, right now, James Gunn is the hottest director right now. This man, man, the man turned Peacemaker. For most people are like, the first episode to
Or if you were like me, fuck that guy. That's the way I
yeah,
felt about him. Fuck that
to
guy.
now from my favorite song in the whole entire show. Now we experience Peacemaker's House of Pain. And now we're like, damn, I feel bad for this dude. And now we're like, like everyone, I've talked to multiple people and they're like, oh yeah, man, I had the biggest smile on my face when they saw Peacemaker at the end having fun. It's just, I'm happy that he got his flowers because I felt like the Suicide Squad movie did not, the reception slash like people watching it didn't reflect the amount of passion and love that James Gunn put into that that movie. And I felt that peace. I had a bad feeling in like my soul that Peacemaker was going to suffer from the same thing, but clearly it didn't. And James Gunn is just winning at this point. This man can almost just walk up to Kevin Feige or DC and be like, Kevin, he'll be walk up to Kevin Feige and say, "Hey, I want to make a Defenders movie," and Kevin Feige's like, Kevin Feige's trying to find a damn trying to find a contract for him to sign. Wait, before you leave.
Well, I can guarantee you. I can guarantee you that Marvel Studios is trying to pin him down for something. Um,
Exactly.
but let's talk about let's talk about that Justice League thing and what that actually means about uh, James Gunn and what he's been able to do. This is, and let's back up just slightly to just kind of backhanded compliment uh, the boss of Kevin Feige's boss, who's the head of Marvel, not Marvel. That's the head of Disney Studio, film production. Who basically had to come down and fire James Gunn because some
Yeah.
people were going through his past tweets and just like, oh, just making a big deal out of people that were opposed to him ideologically, and so they got him fired over stuff that they knew about, that he'd already apologized about. It wasn't even anything that really done except being in poor taste. Blah blah blah. He gets fired, and unbeknownst to the haters, his haters, they were giving us the greatest gift in the world. Because when they DC immediate was like, we don't give a damn about those tweets. How about you come and make something for us? And we got the Suicide Squad as a result. And because we got the Suicide Squad, we got Peacemaker. And Peacemaker is one of the best damn comic book things ever. Not TV shows, right? Comic book things ever, right? It's super popular. People who watch it, it's great. So thanks to all you haters, all you James Gunn haters that were talking that shit years ago. Thank you, because without you, we couldn't have gotten Peacemaker.
Yep.
But circling back around to that Justice League thing, look at how much juice does this man have to literally get DC to be like, okay, you can have the Justice League in there. Oh yeah, at the end of it, I'm gonna shit talk them. I'm gonna have him shit talk them, especially shit talk Aquaman. And okay, then they let it go. The only thing is,
Yep.
and of course, first there's some bullshit going on with not having Batman and Cyborg, but whatever. But we got all of that stuff right there, and the backstory of how we got all that whole scene tells you a lot about why this man is winning, because Ezra Miller's part was filmed by the film crew that is the Marvel film crew that is making Guardians of the Galaxy 3 right now. Wrap your head around that. A scene in a DC movie was filmed by a film crew making a Marvel movie. Just think of how is that? You think to yourself, how does that work? How does it work that Marvel pays these people to make their Marvel movies, but they made a scene for a DC thing? Because James Gunn, that's why. That's
because
why.
James Gunn literally was like, James Gunn's like, hey, like James Gunn at this point has enough juice that both Marvel and DC are like, because now I'm pretty sure Kevin Feige's like, we had you, but then we fired you, and James Gunn's like, too bad, motherfucker.
Y'all can still have me. I'm not like I'm not tied down to anybody. But he's like, you know what? He's like Jesse Jackson trying to heal the rift between the East Coast and West Coast. Between Biggie and Tupac. He's mediating. Yep. He's bringing the two. He's bringing Biggie and Tupac together, and if we're lucky, he's gonna get them to be on the same rap song together. We might get could we get a DC and Marvel crossover, because James Gunn is winning at life right now. That's what I want. Come on. That's my nerd heart is hopeful that if anybody can do it, he can, because I'm telling you, I don't know any director that's has the same love, from the fans from Marvel and DC. He is literally the only director that has directed both a Marvel and a DC thing, right? And for the foreseeable future, he looks like he's going to be doing DC stuff, but that doesn't mean he isn't going to be doing Marvel stuff. I mean, gosh, he deserves it. I'm just saying, he deserves it. This
Yeah,
guy
he deserves it.
deserves what's happening right now. And I'm gonna tell you what, Peacemaker's so damn good. I can't wait for Guardians 3. I can't.
Can't
I
wait.
can't wait. And we're getting Chakwudi Iwuji back, and he's probably gonna be the High Evolutionary. Yes, man. That's. I mean, and you know what? And there's a bunch of people hating on Peacemaker and James Gunn right now, and we're gonna talk about them later on in our main topic. But you know what? He's you can't argue with success. He is winning, and despite whatever you want to say about whatever things you want to bring up or all this other bullshit, the truth is this guy is kicking ass, and so hats off to the man. Keep on kicking ass, because every time you kick ass, I get to watch something awesome.
And then we get the bathe in the salty tears of James Gunn
Yeah.
haters.
Oh yeah, we're gonna talk about those salty tears in a minute. So anyway, those are all of our news items for the week. What did you guys think about what we had to say? And maybe you thought we might have missed something. Maybe there's something we should have covered. Why don't you get down to the comments, let us know what your thoughts are. Of course, you can always hit us up, supernotfunnyshow@gmail.com or at supernotfunnys1 on Twitter. And we'll chop it up, talk about these various news items. Maybe we'll talk about something that you wanted to cover. All right, on to the main topic. And the main topic, of course, is should DC #restore the Snyderverse? This is just background. I mean, if you're listening to this, you probably know this, but if you don't know, maybe you're smart and you stay off of Twitter or whatever social media. Or if you're on social media, maybe you're smart and you stay away from where all the nerds hang out. Good on you, because
The cesspool.
I mean, if you just wanted to hear a bunch of complaining and bitching and moaning and just like from people acting like 3-year-olds, follow nerd crap on social media. It's just like that for everything. It doesn't matter what it is that you're talking about. There's always going to be a bunch of complaining and you ruined my childhood and blah 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 blah. So Snyderverse. We got Zack Snyder's Justice League last year, right? And and it was 4 hours, and it's quite bloated. I liked it, but it's quite bloated and
Yes.
very indulgent. But it happened. It happened after years and years of this hashtag going around. Release the Snyder Cut. Remember that was the thing going years and years and years. People putting their real money and effort and time. I sometimes think about all the money and effort and time that went into that campaign to get Zack Snyder's Justice League made, and I think I wish you bitches would have directed your attention and money and time to something that actually fucking matters. Like this, it doesn't. I'm glad we got it. Not mad about it, but at the same time, real things were happening in the world that could have used your attention. But y'all did that. And Snyderverse fans, you got a big W. You got to admit, that's a gigantic win for people that, for basically a bunch of fans that wouldn't let something go. It's not often that you get your way, but you got your way. And, I'm fine with it. Ladi, I know you were fine with it, right?
Yeah, I was fine with it.
So, we got the Zack Snyder's Justice League. And then that couldn't be the end of it, because you can't give, when you give a mouse a cookie, then he'll want to keep, shouting at you on social media about how he wants Zack Snyder forever and ever and ever, right?
Yep.
So that's what happened after that. So it went from release the Snyder Cut to restore the Snyderverse, and I really wonder what is that? What do they mean by that? What does restore the Snyderverse even mean? I mean, you can look on Twitter and I dare you go on Twitter and look at hashtag Restore the Snyderverse and try to get through it and not roll your eyes repeatedly. And so no, and I'll be fair. Some of the people are really they just really like Zack Snyder's vision of the DCU, and they just like Restore the Snyderverse. They're not, spending a whole lot of time getting angry about things. But there are certain people, like this dude named Geralt of Snyder. He's probably the biggest one on there, who just his whole identity is tied up in this Snyderverse thing, to the point where he and others gin up all this hate campaign and shit for things that they don't deem to be real Snyderverse. So the DCU can't even move forward without these people complaining and complaining and complaining. Like Ladi, you think we're talking about Peacemaker and we're like, oh, everybody loves it, right? Everybody we love it's so great, everyone loves it. It's just not all love for James Gunn, unless you look at Restore the Snyderverse. And then you see a lot of these people trashing and hating on Peacemaker and talking all sorts of mess about James Gunn because it's not the Snyderverse to them. So all that said, I mean, Lottie, you ready to restore the Snyderverse?
No.
Oh shit! Shot fired.
As a spoiler. Spoiler. No. Let me just. I'm gonna be honest, guys. There was only one movie in the whole entire Snyderverse era that I actually truly enjoyed myself watching. And that was Man of Steel. I didn't care for Batman and versus Superman. I mean, it wasn't like it was a bad movie. It was just like I just can't get over. How do you know that name? I can't get over that. And the absolute just clog of the Snyder Cut. I mean, if you weren't talking to me during that movie, I probably would have took a nap. That movie was so. When I talk about that, it's so long. You have to plan your day around that movie. And there's only one part of the movie I felt that was memorable. And I do not understand. I completely agree with the Snyder Cut people. Why did that part get cut out? Why did they get rid of the part where Flash was rewinding time with his feet? Which is that was just idiotic of them to remove from the Snyder Cut. But I digress. I say no. I'm not saying don't bring back. I'm not saying get rid of Snyder and never have him make Marvel or DC movies again. But I don't think he should have the reins anymore because I just felt like his movies were just long clogs. They were taking themselves way too seriously. You know what I mean? It felt I don't want to watch a movie and feel like I'm being sort of like I have to take this movie very seriously. I feel like heroes I think there's a sense of humor in American comic books now. And I don't think that we should turn every single hero into like a Greek god epic. You know what I mean? Because that's what I feel like the Snyder Cut was. It was these Greek god epics,
Yeah.
spanning upon this stuff. And I feel like that era ended. It would have, it would have, the Snyder Cut. Another problem I think what that happened with the Snyder Cut, it took too long for it to come out. Like in the sense of if those movies came out in the early 2010s, then maybe we'll be like, oh, okay, that's their own version. But now, no, you know what I mean? It's time to move on to something fresh. You
Right.
know what I mean?
Yeah, and I mean you're right about the whole Greek god, the god, you know, presenting their stories and it's very very the tone of it is a certain way. It takes you're right. It takes itself absolutely seriously. There's a lot of heavy. It's very heavy and kind of brooding and all that stuff. It's unfortunately sometimes it's just not fun. That's
Yeah.
if there's anything. The thing is, I like Zack Snyder. I like Justice League. I like the one that Joss Whedon sort of fooled around with. I think that Zack Snyder's version of it is better. It just needs to be cut down by about an hour and a half. But that said, his vision of the DCU wasn't popular. It just wasn't popular enough. Now, I understand that there are Snyderverse fans, and I am happy for you if you like the DCU that way. I was pretty much okay with it, but the truth is that it didn't make the money it needed to make to continue. Whereas Aquaman, which is you know is part of the Snyderverse, is not in that same mold and made $1 billion. Money talks,
Yeah.
and that's one thing I want the fans to understand. Money talks. No matter how much you like, you know what? I loved the Suicide Squad. James Gunn's The Suicide Squad. It did not make enough money. You know, it honestly, and we can say, oh, the pandemic. I mean, it didn't hit the way I thought it should hit. That's not any mark against me for liking it. It didn't hit the
Yeah.
way it was supposed to. And if they want to move on, I get it. Zack Snyder had 3 bites at that apple, and every bite at the apple took, brought less back. So there's a business reality to it they're just not as popular as they should be, considering the fact that it's Justice League and and Superman and Batman. They should be killing the box office, and if they're only making 5, 6, $700 million, that doesn't compute.
No.
I also want to address the whole restore the Snyderverse thing. What the hell does that mean? I'm serious about that. Wonder Woman's still going to be having movies made. Flash and Aquaman, right? All 3 of them are Snyderverse characters. So it can't be that you're talking about character. Henry Cavill's probably not going to be Superman again for whatever reason. Whatever reason DC doesn't want him, he's not. Our Cyborg's not going to be there because Ray Fisher's got beef with WB, and Ben Affleck's not coming back because he doesn't want to be Batman anymore. None of those can be done anything about. They're not coming back. So you can't be talking about the characters. Can't be talking about the characters because there are Snyderverse characters still getting shit made right now.
Yeah.
If you're talking about the tone or the presentation, the style of Snyder, again, it's not popular enough to warrant them continuing in that direction. You don't keep throwing bad money after good. It's clear that people didn't want that. You know what? The Suicide Squad made more money than the fucking Justice League movie. The first Suicide Squad made more money than Justice League, right? And what was it doing? It was funny and over the top and all that stuff, right? They didn't want. That's just the thing. It wasn't popular enough. And or are you talking about restore his overall story, his plan for the DCEU going forward? That they seem like they're not going to follow through on. If that's what you're talking about, I mean, maybe you have an argument, but it's not going to be Zack Snyder that does it. It's just not. Again, he's had his bites at the apple.
Yeah.
And don't even talk to me about, do you want him to run the DCEU the way that Kevin Feige runs? He's not going to do that. Like, get that out of your head. I get holding out a torch for this, but man, you got to know y'all are on your own fucking island right now. You're on your own island, waiting for sending out you every time you hit that you tweet restore the Snyderverse, you're sending out a bottle with a message in it, and that motherfucker keeps coming back to you because DC is on the other side of the world and they are not even looking for any of those little messages. They're moving on in a different direction because they want to move in a direction that makes some money. That makes money commensurate with the level of character that they are presenting. So if you want the Justice League again, it ain't gonna be Zack Snyder that does it. Not unless he shows he can like do something different than what he's been doing. Lottie, uh, you know, so I here's my thing is, I feel what they're talking about, and my thing is, I don't believe that the Snyderverse is necessarily gone because there are elements of it and themes and whatever that are going to remain within the DCU going forward. They are not rebooting the DCU, so we're going to continue to see some of these characters and some of the storylines that they were talking about, but we're not going to get Zack Snyder's total vision. And to be honest, I'm fine to happy with that. DC's need to do something better than what they've been doing, and that James Gunn's vision is a good start, and James Wan's vision is a good start, and I just think they are trying to move away and more forward from that. Lottie, what last thing I kind of wanted to talk about, because this whole Snyderverse thing is such it's I don't want to call it a movement. It's a real lightning rod / echo chamber, and unfortunately, that also means that there's a lot of people in there that are ginning each other up on their own entitlement. Because there's a lot of people that feel like, oh, I'm entitled to the version of the DCU that that I think is the best. I'm entitled to the Snyderverse, right? Or
Yeah.
if you like James Gunn's anything, you're an idiot, because the Snyderverse is the real thing, right? Or we got this trash that we get now versus the beauty that was the Snyderverse. That's the shit I see when I go into looking at Restore the Snyderverse stuff. Or you literally get people just pitching fits. It's crazy. There's a lot of talk about toxic fans, but I feel like the Restore the Snyderverse contingent seems to be in that spiral of toxicity where the fact that they're not getting what they want and that DC isn't listening to them somehow means that they are justified in their ugly rhetoric and sort of attacking whatever DC does or whatever. Whatever happened to just be like, well, that's not for me, and moving on. That whatever happened to that? That's not my cup of tea. I'm gonna move on to something else. I
I
mean,
just feel like nowadays people just want to bully other people when it comes to their liking, and because they're like, oh well, the Snyderverse or whatever doesn't have what I want. I mean, the James Gunn stuff doesn't have what I want, so I'm going to demean and undermine all this stuff. And in my opinion, I, you just saying you want this to happen. I mean, obviously, yeah. I'm not saying, oh, shut up and watch what DC's putting out. You should watch what you want to watch, but obviously, what you consider entertaining and good and everybody should watch, people don't find that entertaining. Just plain simple facts. It's just they're not finding it entertaining. So you either have to figure out what I mean, you have to go and just look at yourself and say, damn, why is what I'm not want entertaining? And the thing about it is DC can give it to you, but in their main verse, if you want to make a movie, you just can't nowadays make these superhero movies with this ultra serious Greek god type thing, because it's at this point that will just get stale and people won't want to watch it. You know what
yeah.
I mean?
Well, and I think maybe you can do it, but it's gotta fit the character and the story, because I think we're gonna see in the Batman. We even saw the Joker. It's not a true superhero thing, but it was his own thing, and it's very much of a serious bent, right? And
Yeah.
the new Batman looks like it's going to be almost like semi a horror movie or something like that.
Yeah.
And again, that's fine to me. If it fits the story, but I don't know if the whole universe can be that. I don't know that I want to watch the whole. And there's another thing. I want the Snyder cut, Snyderverse people to listen and understand. DC was never really that. Even in the comics, even when they in the 80s when there's all this grim dark stuff going on and the Dark Knight Returns, and I get wanting to do the Dark Knight Returns. There's nothing wrong with that, right? But generally speaking, DC was always more of a lighter, sort of storytelling place where the Boy Scout that was Clark Kent could be a Boy Scout and it wouldn't be ridiculous, right? It was never they
Yep.
were it was more like that, and I don't think that there's any reason that Zack Snyder's his Justice League couldn't have been a little lighter in some ways. I don't see why there's any reason, but of course the way he set it up, it had to be sort of dark because Superman's dead and all this other stuff. I guess the point here being that other people liking something isn't an attack on you, right?
Yeah.
Other people liking something that you hate isn't an attack on you, and you can have your preferences as far as the tone and content and all that. I get that, but not everything's for you. And just DC's their current output isn't for you, and you can just move on. This isn't a religion where you have to watch everything DC, and then it just burns you up inside. Just watch something else.
Yeah.
Seriously, there's no reason to get an ulcer or have an aneurysm because Peacemaker says Aquaman fucks fish. That shouldn't like burn you up inside. But
Is that really what's messing these guys up?
well, among other things, I think it's just the fact that James Gunn's tone is just different.
Yeah.
And here's the thing, and they want to make it out like his DC versus Zack Snyder's. Y'all are dumb. I'm gonna call it straight up. Y'all that are playing that fucking game, you're stupid. Zack Snyder and James Gunn are friends. They've made movies together, right?
Yeah.
There is no James Gunn versus Zack Snyder. That is not a thing. That's some made up bullshit that nerds on the internet have come up with. The same way that Marvel versus DC in movies is a thing. It's not. The only people who give a fuck about that are people who enjoy a made up fight because it's not real. Ask Kevin Feige what he thinks about DC stuff, and he says I like their shit and I want it to be good because I like DC comics. Yes, he makes Marvel movies, but he also is a lover of film and of comic stuff and superheroes, and he wants that shit to be good. And the same thing goes in reverse. Zack Snyder loves Marvel stuff. So it's a bunch of made up bull. And the thing is, I guess you feel cool to be in this club or whatever, but truthfully, when it like I said, it's almost damn near cult like religious shit. Yeah, then you start getting mad when anything that goes against your orthodoxy rears its head, and instead of just being like, well, you know what, this isn't my cup of tea, I'm moving on. Like, because if it's just not your cup of tea, you're moving on. You don't have to go watch everything that DC does. So, in other words, you bitches take this shit way too seriously. Like it's all fucking made up, man.
I mean, it's like I don't watch everything that Marvel puts out. I don't watch everything, like you said, that DC puts out. There's certain things that I just look like. I look at and like, nah, that's not me. You know what I mean? But to get upset over something, especially, and I feel like one of the main reasons why people are getting so mad and upset of it because it's doing well.
Yeah.
Like if it wasn't doing well, nobody would talk about it. But the fact that they're they're afraid that this is going to be the new DC, where they like the DC, because like you said, stories like the Dark Knight, where Batman is going to be. I mean, the Batman movie where he's going to be the Dark Knight and all that stuff. Yeah, that's good because we never really gotten a Batman movie like that. We've gotten some people will argue with me on that, but yeah, it's not even close. This is the first time we actually get in a Batman movie like this, so it's something new. You know what I mean? And it's
Right.
just, I feel like this is where like how it should be. Start bring in something fresh. I mean, Peacemaker was such a hit. You should be happy because this is James Gunn turned Peacemaker into, of all characters, into a hit. Don't you want a Teen Titans live action movie? That's something that, or live action show or movie that everybody been asking for. Well, maybe James Gunn.
Yeah.
I mean,
I think that
just
one thing that kind of, sort of maybe pisses them off too is people were, as soon as Peacemaker was a hit after the first few, they're like, just give James Gunn the entire DC EU, which, I mean, we talked about that too, and I'm like, I don't know about all that, but yeah, I mean, I wouldn't mind if he gets some movies or whatever, but they're the guy that they think should run it versus a guy that's, in their mind, stealing his shine. I this
yeah,
this is just, it's only, I'm speculating. I'm guessing this is it. And here's the thing. I don't mean to paint everyone that, if everybody that says restore the Snyderverse isn't hating and being toxic, and I understand that. There's just a bunch of that scream the loudest that are, and it's like, just kind of get off of that. Uh, I don't even think Zack Snyder wants to fucking restore the Snyderverse. So he can't be shanghaied into it. DC doesn't want to spend the money on it. Most people don't want to see it. So it really just is, you're holding out a candle for, you're holding a torch out for something that really not going to happen.
yeah,
And maybe redirect that into other things. Maybe one day your ship will come to port, but in the meantime, maybe just say no to DC stuff, or, and here's a out of the box, out of the way sort of thing to consider. Just view everything on their own merits and then make your decision from there. It's just saying. Maybe it'll make that ulcer go away. Just either way, Snyder Cut fans, restore. We like you guys. Just chill out a little bit. That's all. And
yeah,
come, step away from the ledge. It's fun over here, man. We got plenty of stuff to have fun and be happy about. Superhero stuff is great right now, and you can have fun too. So anyway, I think that's all of our thoughts for the Restore the Snyderverse. I think we'll probably talk about this again in the future. But until then, what did you guys think about our comments? What did you think about this whole topic? Why don't you get down to the comments, let us know what you're thinking about. Of course, you can always hit us up, supernotfunnyshow@gmail.com, or at supernotfunnys1 on Twitter. And while you're down there, why don't you go ahead and hit that subscribe button, join the Super Not Funny Show family. We'd love to have you. And of course, you can always hit the notification bell. It will let you know when we drop new content. We are doing reviews and, the gamer cast, all that stuff. It's plenty of fun stuff you can hear us talking about and pontificating on. So check all that stuff out. Of course, the Supercast wouldn't work if it was just me. I need my good friend Ladi to provide his insight. So, Ladi, where can they find you on social media?
oh yeah. You can always find me on my Instagram, which is Anukinihun. It is again ANUKINIHUN. Again, it's ANUKINIHUN. I upload pictures on there. I'm about to upload working on something right now that I'm about to upload on Instagram. So stay tuned for that. Also, you can find me on my Twitter, which is also Anu Kinihun, but there's a space between Anu and Kinihun. And then, of course, my YouTube channel, which is Kinihun25. I upload gameplay of games that I work on, of course, latest episodes of the GamerCast, and of course, you could also find, which are the most entertaining, my live streams. Didn't do one last week. Unfortunately, I was playing Horizon, so yeah, lost track of time. But stay tuned. I constantly upload content on my YouTube channel.
Yeah, you guys go and check all of that out. Go like, subscribe, uh, show some love to Ladi. All right, all you Fabricant and Fleshbags, thanks once again for joining us on this, the 39th episode of the Supercast. Come back next week. We've got plenty to talk about. Oh, man, next week's huge. So, got a
Yeah.
lot of things going down next week. So, anyway, until then, I have been Mo De Poupe, your resident Fabricant and comment extraordinaire on all things pop culture, joined by the anime expert, video game designer, and lover of all things superhero, my good friend Ladi. And we'll see you guys on the other side of the thread. Peace.
Peace.